everybody, it's Serena from Serena's Kitchen, and today in my kitchen we're making fluffy, delicious homemade dinner rolls. And guess what? I'm making it a lot easier. I'm using my bread machine. Let me tell you, a bread machine is such a great thing to have in the kitchen, and it makes things so much easier. And after the rolls are finished, I'm going to show you that dinner rolls is not just dinner rolls. They're going to be all day rolls. Yeah, we're going to stuff these rolls with a couple of things to make it taste even better. Okay, come closer, let me show you what I do. Okay guys, so basically these are the ingredients I'm going to show you that I use for my homemade dinner rolls. Now there are several types of recipes, but these are the basic ingredients. And then I'm going to show you how I put them in the bread machine, which is different technique than the manufacturer's suggestion. All right, let's start by telling you what I use. First, we use 1 cup of warm water. If you have a thermometer, it should be about 110 degrees. And then we have active yeast. We're going to use 3 teaspoons of this yeast. Sugar, which is 1/4 cup of sugar. Now the flour is bread flour. I like bread flour much better when you're making rolls. This is 3 1/4 cup of bread flour. Then I'm going to apply 1 teaspoon of salt. We have approximately 1/3 cup of dry powdered milk, 1 egg that's been sitting at room temperature, and we have about 2.5 tablespoons of unsalted butter that has been softened. All right, so let me show you how I put my ingredients in the bread machine. Okay, so let me start off by saying that a lot of manufacturer directions state that you add the yeast last. I'm not doing it that way because the way I do it, I think the rolls come out much more fluffy. Okay, I use my thermometer and I have 110 degrees warm water. Right after that, I'm adding the yeast. The yeast should touch the warm water. So that's 3 teaspoons of the yeast. I should get exactly 3 teaspoons. Perfect. Okay, great. So then when you see the yeast in the warm water, it starts to activate and bubble up. You know that your yeast is active and perfect. All right, so after the yeast is added, then we add the 1/4 cup of sugar. These 2 things with water makes it so much better. Okay, now after the sugar, now I'm going to add the 3 1/4 cup of bread flour right on top. I'm telling you, this way, I have been doing it this way for so long and I think it's so much better. Okay, we got the flour. Now we need to add 1 teaspoon of salt right on top. Then the 1/3 cup of powdered milk, the egg, then the butter. That's it. Done. Plug it in. Alrighty. Now, the bread machine has different programs. You want the dough program. So you look on your bread machine, my dough program is number 8. So I just go to the program button. Every bread machine is different, depends on what you have. And I press it until I see the number 8. And then I press start. Isn't that a great sound? It's kneading already. I'm telling you, I'm keeping my hands nice and healthy without kneading a dough. So now on this bread machine, this will be in here for about 1 hour and 30 minutes. Then when we come back, we're going to make the rolls, and they got to proof a little longer in the oven in a warm spot. And then we're going to cook them and salivate. Be right back. Okay, hi guys. So I'm gonna look at the bread machine. We have about 20 more minutes to go while it's in the proofing stage. So this is what I like to do when it's about this point. I like to turn my oven on 200. Because remember, it has to go for a second rising after you make the rolls. And it's supposed to be in a warm place. What's warmer than your oven. So I like to keep it on 200 for about just 10 minutes. Then I shut the oven off, but I like to keep the oven light on. And then that way it can be all set. You do not want the oven too hot if you use the oven before it's ready to rise a second time, because otherwise the yeast is not quite ready and the rolls may get tough or one big blob on your pan. All right, so for about 10 minutes on 200, then I shut it off. And now the pan I use here's my baking pan. It's a 9 by 13. Now, depends on what size rolls you want to make. Once you decide which pan you want to use, grease it with salted butter. Now, sometimes people like to take some coarse salt, like kosher or whatever, and sprinkle it on the rolls before they cook or after they cook. I don't like to do that, so instead I use salted butter. So put salted butter generously all over the pan to get it all ready. And then once it's all greased and ready to go, we're gonna go to the bread machine, get the dough out, and make our rolls. Time's up. We all set. Look how that rises to the top. Oh my goodness. Look at that beauty. Now when it looks puffy like that, you actually have to take the air out. So you know what? Give it a little punch. Because you gotta get the air out of that. There you go. Give it a little punch. I love that part. All right, so now let's form the rolls. Look at this beautiful dough. Oh, this is perfect consistency. Okay, let's make the rolls. All right, so you put your dough on a non-stick mat or your counter. Break it open like this, and it's up to you on what size you want to make them. And you kind of roll it out flat like this, and then tuck it in. Tuck it in to make a pinch. After you make a pinch like this at the bottom, put it on your palm and roll it. Woo! Haven't lost a roll yet. Okay, I'll show you one more time. Peace out. Bring it up to make a pinch. Put it in your palm and roll it out. Simple. Okay, so I'm gonna roll up the rest of this dough and we'll be done in a minute. Okay, so I finished rolling the dough up and made my rolls. I made about 12. They're not touching the sides here, but that's okay because when it starts to rise, it's going to poof and cover the pan. Now, all my rolls are not the same size, but that's okay. I'm not that perfect in making them, but you know what? It's still delicious. Now you take the softened salted butter and just kind of put some on top. Now we're gonna go to the warm oven and put them in for a second rising. Okay, I'm ready to put them in. Now they're gonna be in here for about another 25 to 30 minutes, but you check it in between. And the oven is nice and warm. Now, if you feel it's too warm, and I think it's a little bit too warm because I do not want this dough to cook yet, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put them in here, but I'm gonna leave the door open just a crack, and then come back and check the temperature of the oven again. Okay, see you soon. Okay, it's been in the oven for a second rising for about 35 to 40 minutes. So it's time to bring it out and show you how beautiful they look. Now, I forgot to tell you, yes, I have the towel over the pan. Before you put it in the oven for a second rising, cover it up. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that part. Okay, now the reveal of how beautiful these rolls look. Oh my gosh, look at that beautiful poof. Fluffy, pillowy, soft. Now, I have the oven preheating at 350 degrees. I'm gonna pop these babies into the oven here for about 20 minutes to 25 minutes until they're beautiful golden brown. See you soon. All right, oh my goodness, I just pulled them out the oven. They smell and look beautiful, golden brown. So we're just gonna put a little bit more butter on top of the hot rolls. Smear a little bit of butter on top while they're hot so it can sink in beautifully. And now we're gonna let these cool down a little bit and make some sandwiches. Okay, now they cool down enough for me. I just wanna show you the pillowy. Look at that, soft, fluffy, and I'm gonna put some butter on it. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to eat this. These rolls are so fluffy and pillowy, I can actually put a pillowcase around them and sleep all night. All right, so now what we're gonna do is stuff the other ones and show you how dinner rolls can actually be all day rolls. Now let's start with the morning roll. Get yourself some strawberry preserves or your favorite preserves and put some in a nice buttery hot roll with a delicious cup of coffee. Hey, I want another one for lunch. So I just made myself a little turkey club. Some turkey meat, bacon, and lettuce. And finally, hey, that chicken parm in a roll. Now, doesn't that scream hallelujah? Now, let's see, which one shall I try? You know what? I'm gonna do the turkey club, and I'm gonna give the chicken parm one to the beautiful lady behind the counter, behind my camera. And now I'm gonna taste. Oh, she took a bite and gave it back. So good, so delicious. Fluffy, delicious, pillowy, soft rolls. All right, I need another bite. So good. You know, it's a good thing I don't make these every day because it'd be definitely a sinful pleasure. So good. So listen, if you do not have a bread machine, get yourself a bread machine. Make these delicious all-day rolls. You will not be disappointed. They're so delicious, fluffy, pillow, soft, out of this world. So in the meantime, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give me the old thumbs up. And if you make the rolls, give me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, bon appetit. Enjoy life. Enjoy food. Enjoy all-day rolls.